Alrighty, everyone, welcome back to our upside down teachings of Jesus. We're looking at the Beatitudes in Matthew 5, and right now we're looking at Matthew 5, verse 10. For those of you who are watching, you're like, who the heck is that guy? My name's Matt. I'm one of the pastors at Big Valley Grace. I'm married to a beautiful wife. She's smoking. I have two kids. They're 2 years old and 1 year old. When you're married, there are times you have conversations that are often kind of dicey. For example, my wife and I and our two boys, we decided to take a road trip one time. And right when we got in the car, it smelled really bad. It stunk. So my wife looks at me and she says, "Did you fart?" And I was innocent. And usually I claim them. And this time I said, "No, that was not me." And she insisted that it was me that farted. It smelled so bad. I thought it was her and she was embarrassed. So I just kind of just let it go. And she kept saying the whole drive, "I tell you not to fart. That we have the child locks on the windows. I can't roll them down to get some fresh air. I tell you not to do this." And I kept telling her it wasn't me. It was not me. So she kind of was persecuting me on this drive. When we got to our destination, we took the kids out and she stops and she says, "Oh." I was like, "What'd you find?" She found a dirty diaper in the back seat of the car that's been sitting there for who knows how long. So that awful smell was not me. It was a dirty diaper. And she apologized. But that kind of leads me into this next verse of Matthew 5, verse 10, where it says this: God blesses those who are persecuted for doing right, for the kingdom of heaven is theirs. So, I was kind of being persecuted for doing the right thing. What did I do that was right? I didn't fart in the car. You shouldn't fart in the car, especially when the windows are up and they're child locks. I did not do anything wrong, yet I was being accused of something. Now, is that really what's going to happen today? Are you going to face a world who's going to lock you in a car and fart and accuse you? No. But the world is stinky like a diaper, and they will persecute you for being a follower of Christ. Is Jesus's words relevant today? Absolutely. When you look at a global standpoint, absolutely, believers all around the globe are being persecuted, losing their lives, meeting in secret. They can die just for having a page of the Bible. So yes, there are those being persecuted, and maybe some of you right now who are watching have been persecuted for being a follower of Christ. Maybe you've lost friends. Maybe you've been made fun of, being called a Jesus freak. Maybe some of you out there are afraid to get made fun of or afraid to be persecuted for letting your friends know that you're a follower of Christ. I'm here to tell you that Jesus does tell us those who cling to their lives will lose it. Do not hold on to your life. I'll tell you there's something more precious than that, and we're all going to tie it in with this verse right here. Now, when we look at the Beatitudes, it talks about a person who's hungry for justice, who's humbled, who is merciful, whose hearts are pure. Now, when you follow all these things, do you think that the world is automatically going to like you and that you're going to be president? No. Jesus ends it with, "Blessed are those who are persecuted for doing right." Now, I want to point out, Jesus does not say, "Blessed are those who are persecuted for being different," because I think you all know what I'm talking about when if you are being different, yes, that comes with persecution. Say, if you want to wear your underwear on the outside of your pants, yes, you will get made fun of for that. That's not what this is saying. This is saying for doing what is right. Now, what is right? Well, it's talking about following God's word, putting it into practice, not just saying you're a Christian, not just talking the talk, but you're walking it out, doing what's right, when no one's looking, when your friends are looking. Why in the world would the world persecute you and hate you for being a follower of Christ? Well, this has been the pattern of our world since the beginning of time. You can see Cain and Abel. Cain murdered his own brother. His own brother Abel did the right thing. He gave his offering, his best, to the Lord. And when he gave his best to the Lord, his brother didn't like that and he killed him. You saw this in the book of Daniel. Daniel himself, the some of the sorcerers, the astrologers, all these people, they did not like Daniel because he was viewed as highly from the king. They tried to find something wrong with him. They could find nothing wrong. He was a man of integrity. He had a righteous living, and they still persecuted him anyways, and they threw him in a den of lions. Some of you know the ending to that story. You look at the man himself, Jesus Christ, who lived a perfect life, and still the world hated him. So if Jesus Christ lived a perfect life here on earth, and still the world hated him, what makes you think that no one will hate you? You will be hated. You will look down upon, especially if you're a follower of Christ. There's already something different about you. Why would the world hate Christians? Why would the world persecute Christians? Well, it's because of this. We are not of this world. We are not living for this world. So right away, we're in a different category. The world's not going to like you because you don't belong to them. I'm sure some of you today have been through a situation where there's a certain person that doesn't fit your friend category, so you don't want to hang out with them. Or you're being treated a certain way, so you don't want to hang out with this person or this group or affiliated with this person. If we do not belong to the world, we do not want to abide by their customs, they will make fun of you and kick you out. And guess what? That's okay. Remember, don't cling to your life. There's something greater than that. Love Christ with all your heart. And when you give your life to the Lord, your life is no longer yours. It's God's. And our purpose here on earth is to give our life to the Lord and then tell others about him. And it's okay if you're made fun of because of that. I want to read these other verses. After verse 10, verse 11 says this: God blesses you when people mock you and persecute you and lie about you and say all sorts of evil things about you because you are my followers. In verse 12, it says, be happy about it. Be very glad, for a great reward awaits you in heaven. You will be blessed. This is a blessing that comes from this, a blessing. Now, you may not see it here on earth. You hang in there. Now, why would you want to do the right thing when you're going to get made fun of or persecuted? You may lose friends or families. Why would you want to do the right thing? What reward is there in that? How about the kingdom of heaven? Does that sound good to you? The kingdom of heaven is awaiting for you. That's something you have that people who don't follow Christ don't have. You have the kingdom of heaven waiting for you, and that is better than anything this world has to offer. No matter how great it may seem here on earth, no matter the things that the world tells us to be a part of or to fit in with, it doesn't even compare to the glory that's waiting for us. In fact, the Bible tells us all the trials we go through are nothing compared to what will be revealed to us in heaven. Now, I can't even imagine what heaven's like, but just know what we go through here is nothing. It won't even be a memory, the trials that we went through, because God is going to embrace you with his arms saying, welcome home, my good and faithful servant. We have the kingdom of heaven that's waiting for us. That's what we want to look towards. That's what we want to strive towards. We want to continue with our lives to walk towards the cross on no matter the circumstance, no matter the situation. When people look at us, we don't want them to see us. We want them to see Christ. That's who our lives should be focused on, should be centered on, who we should represent by doing what's right, doing what's pure, what's noble, what's good, what is just, what's humble. All the Beatitudes is what we want to do. The fruits of the Spirit is what we want to show, what we want to produce. People are going to make fun of you. You're already not of this world. Take heart. Jesus doesn't tell us, he doesn't promise us an easy life because we follow him. There's some people that think because you're a Christian, you have this bubble that protects you from anything. That's not true. Maybe some of you right now are going through some trials. But what does Jesus tell us in John 16:33? He promises us that we're going to go through trials and sorrows. But he says this, but take joy, take heart. I've overcome the world. Jesus has overcome everything we're ever going to go through. Don't be ashamed of that. Don't cling to your life. Know that Christ already died for it. And now we're living for him. He's going to live through us. So for those of you out there who are afraid of being persecuted, where's your heart at? Where's your priority? What are you putting number one? Who are you trying to please? Yourself, your friends, or Christ? What is more important at the end of the day when you take your last breath? Blessed are those who are persecuted for doing right. Why? For the kingdom of heaven is theirs. You have the kingdom of heaven waiting for you. God left this earth to prepare a place for you. He is building it right now. Know that. Believe in that. Trust in that in these times where you're going through persecution. Know this, okay? That there is a light at the end of the tunnel. There is a home that's being prepared for you right now. And someday Christ is going to call you home. Are you ready for that day? That's my challenge to you, is to think about that. Where's your heart? And when times are tough, when you're being persecuted, take heart. Christ overcame the world, and the kingdom of heaven is waiting for you. I hope you got something out of the Beatitudes and the upside-down teachings of Christ, the Sermon on the Mount. This is one of Christ's best sermons he's ever given. I hope you're all staying safe. I can't wait to see some of you students again. Take care. Have a great day. God bless.